And I'll tell you something, the true gift of a manager is to understand who that artist is and make that artist happen by not exploiting that artist or turning that artist into something else. I mean, case in point, Prince was a very, very shy person. He's always been shy. He's been that way since the day that I met him. So I wasn't going to put him in a three-piece suit or turn him into a James Brown or a, somebody that's going to walk and talk and do all that. What I did, and I developed this press kit, which is on the wall here, is I left his mystery in place. So I took what was that artist and made that bigger than life. The best thing that a manager can do is look out for the needs and wants of their artist and be able to communicate the reality blows of the business to that artist and to be totally honest with their artist and know when not to bring certain pieces of information to the artist. You may not want your artist to read certain reviews. You might advise them, just don't read reviews anymore because they're all going to come at you. You're putting yourself out there. Another thing that a manager has to understand is that an artist, especially, I only work with people who write their own material. I've never worked with anyone who hasn't written their own material. I don't go that route. I enjoy the true talent. Is to understand that that artist who's being creative is putting their mind out for others to accept or reject. Is they are putting themselves on the line. So when we do a showcase and there's a writer and there's a band and that writer has, here's my song, and then somebody flat out rejects it, it's not like we're here and we're stocking salesmen, and we go to a store and somebody doesn't want to buy your stockings and you can go, well, all right, maybe the design wasn't that great. Whoever designed it, okay, I'll go home. It was a bad day. They are rejecting your mind. They're rejecting your soul. They're rejecting the vulnerability that you've made. You've made yourself completely vulnerable for someone to accept or reject. So a true manager, while they're making sure that the food is in the dressing room and making sure that you're out there and making sure that you're getting the dates and the bookings and getting you, trying to get you a record deal, also has to understand what that artist is putting out there. And when they get rejected, it's deep. It's 1,000 million times deeper for that. And it's to be able to understand and work within that. And even work within that in the studio. And to communicate the reality blows. Most artists who have been tremendously successful had very poor first albums. And to be with that artist and get them to get to that next album and convince the record label that they've got to be and fight for your artist. You've got to be as passionate about what you do as what your artist does. So what is a good manager able to do? A good manager is able to surround himself with the right people. Over the years I've learned a lot about entertainment law, so I can look at contracts and know what's good, bad, and ugly about them. But I'm not a lawyer, so the first thing I do is I go out and try to find the best available entertainment lawyer. Now, because that can only make you look good. There's a lot, and if you can't find the top and go out and get the number one in New York or Los Angeles or Nashville or wherever Chicago or wherever it's going to be, there's a lot of good mid-level lawyers around. But there's a lot of questions that you have to take care of. There's a lot of things that have to be taken care of for your artist. The publishing, the right contracts, agent contracts, all of this kind of stuff. So you have to look out for your artist. You can't be any guessing. You can't have Uncle Ed from down the road do it. Uncle Ed can do it to help you get to that next stage, but Uncle Ed's got to know that he's out the minute a professional comes in. It's difficult to explain because I've only done it by second. It's just kind of second nature. Oh, I need to have a really great attorney behind this. But I think that most managers are just out there fighting the fight for their artists, communicating the reality blows for their artist, to the reality blows that happen in the business to their artists, taking care of them, understanding who they are, not trying to turn them into something else or change them. And that goes the same for a lot of producers in the studio. You don't want to take an artist that comes in and say, okay, listen, let's add, cowbells and let's have you sound like, Captain Tennille. you have to take what is central to that artist and make it bigger than life. Not try to change them or imprint your sound or do anything like that on there.